Hi, this is Kasi with One Elegant Event Wedding and Event Planning. I am here to talk to you about the Pride event that we were supposed to have this coming weekend. First of all, I want to give my thanks out, my shouts out to the Sheraton Waterside, Norfolk. OMG, they are so amazing. Um, if you're having any type of event, whether it's a pride event, a regular event, your wedding, any type of celebration, they have spaces that can fill up to 500 or more people in their ballroom. They have smaller spaces downstairs. They are absolutely wonderful to work with, and they are very, very good at doing what they do. We just love Dottie, the event planner at the Sheraton Marriott, and she is so fantastic. I really enjoy working with her. We're just trying to get our settings together on here while I'm talking, and trying to get myself in the frame. This is the first time I've used this format, so just bear with us as we get it situated. Are we good? Okay, great. So we're just trying to get all these platforms straight. We're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube all at the same time. Yes, I'm being super fancy today. I have all of my technology going on with my wonderful husband who's gotten me together and gotten my situation all set up today for tonight's live. Um, so you know that we canceled the Pride event for this weekend, this Saturday, the wedding show, the wedding expo that we were having at the Sheraton. And it wasn't until I started planning this um, LGBTQ event for this community, this wedding event, that I realized how difficult it must be for this community to plan their wedding. Um, Being in the wedding business and being a professional, um, yes, I am an ally personally, but in my business, I'm an ally because I'm a business. So I kind of separate my things in my life from, personal, religion, and business. However, I am an ally. I don't have a problem with it. But my issue is that if you are a business, when you're a business, you're supposed to provide services for everyone and don't have a problem with it. Everybody deserves equal opportunity, equal services, equal just everything. And that's what we fought hard for all these years being in America to be able to get the services that we pay for. And when we show up at people's places, we deserve to get that customer service that we all deserve, some great positive customer service. And being in the wedding business, it's a business, and I know a lot of people want to collide their views and their understandings, but I didn't realize how many people in our local wedding community aren't allies of the LGBTQ community, which is very surprising to me. Kasi, I am a very liberal person, and I just own up to people for who they are. I look at people for who they are, and how they treat others and how they are relational with each other. And if you're a nice person and I want to work with you, I'm gonna work with you. If you're not a nice person, I'm not gonna work with you. Period. I don't really, and that's with people who I take on as clients, people who are wedding and event vendors, people who are in my personal life. There's no reason for me to have to deal with to nasty people or people who just don't have great personalities. And so that's how I base my life off of, not because of some people's relational status or anything of that sort. So planning this event was very surprising to me. Usually when I plan wedding expos, wedding shows, wedding events, yes, I call them wedding shows, wedding events, because I don't call them bridal shows anymore, because all of the events that I do are open for all engaged couples and all people. And so that's why I chose to change all of my events to wedding events or wedding shows or wedding expos, and not the so-called bridal events and bridal shows. But all of the ones I've planned in the past, um, I've never really had any problems getting wedding vendors and people in our community to participate like I have with this particular event. Um, I've done shows all over the South, and now up here in Virginia. And I don't really charge a lot for vendor booths for my events, because my thing is I'm doing these events to not only support the engaged couple, but for my wedding community also. I feel like you shouldn't have to spend a ton of money to advertise your business and not guaranteed that you're going to get business back. So I usually do my events when you see them posted, just being transparent that my booths are usually free or at very low cost. And if I do charge for my booths, it's because all of that money is being covered to go for advertising and for rentals. If we provide tables and chairs for the events, people got to bring that in, deliver it, set it up, take it back out of the place, especially if it's a one-day event. So that's where our cost comes from, and we keep everything really low because we want all the people to participate, and we do our events by invite only because we want to give you quality services providers, people with licenses, people who are insured, people who, for the most part will do your event right. These are one of a kind, once in a lifetime events I'm working with. And we want everybody to be able to have a fantastic wedding celebration or birthday party or whatever you're having, because it's your one time to have this big celebration. You're spending all this money, you're doing all these things, you're going through all these changes. And so we want to make sure that you have the best quality service providers that you can have. And we just didn't have a lot of people who was willing to take a free booth, which is wild to me. We had, several. We had enough for a show, but it would have been a whack show. I'm not going to give you a whack show. That's not what I'm going to do. There's other service providers that I'm not going to name any names or things that didn't even answer their emails or just flat out did not want to support this community. So what I say to you is, when you are planning your event and you of the pride community, of the LGBTQ community, make sure you ask these questions. Find out whether or not they are an ally or if they are LGBTQ themselves. Find out if they're going to give you 100% customer service and give you the things that they give their other couples who are not of this community. Hire your wedding planner. You don't have to hire us. I would love to plan your wedding, of course. But if you don't want to use our services, make sure you find a wedding planner who's willing and has a running list of allies, so when they help you plan your event, that you will be able to plan it with success and without problems and without headaches. I want you to plan your event, and the only thing you stress about is because the shade of pink or blue or green or purple, whatever you pick, is not right. Stress about the same things that other, couples are stressed about, not because you can't get the wedding vendor that you want because they are not an ally and they don't support your maritals and your celebration. You don't want to have to argue with people or fight with people. You should be able to just show up and have a great time and have an equal experience like everyone else. And I know the reason why I did this event is because I meet a lot of different people at these bridal shows and wedding events, and they don't really like support the whole of all the engaged couples. So they support the bride and the groom, but you never see any of this interaction with the others. And so I can see how this community, the LGBT community, doesn't feel comfortable going to regular shows because all the paperwork they get has a bride and groom on it. All the wording says bride and groom. It's not just in general. It doesn't say engaged couple or engaged spouses, or it doesn't keep things general. So when you're thinking about revamping your vendors paperwork, or if you're revamping your booth status, think about these little details when you're putting out your paperwork for future shows. Make sure if you're of the LGBTQ community that you ask people the pertinent questions so you can be able to have a smooth experience. There's people out here who are just they won't say it, but they'll take your money and just give you some half regular status things, and they won't go above and beyond for you. But this is your wedding. It should be fun. It should be exciting. It should be at a good time for everyone. So that's the reason why we cancel the events. Hopefully, in maybe 2 or 3 years, people would be more open-minded to this event, and we can do it again. I am actively collecting a list of vendors who are allies and who are of this community. So when I do bring it back, I can just go to that particular list because now I know that just because you are in the wedding business, you don't do weddings for everyone. So that's all I have today, and just feel free if you have any questions for me. You can inbox me, email me. I love to help you. If you need any vendor referrals or anything of that sort, let me know. And watch out for our next event that we're having. It's going to be big, and we're really loving how that's turning out. So check us out later, and be sure to like us on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Thanks so much, you guys. Have a good night. Bye.